Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps. I myself am not an alcoholic, but my husband is, and he's been sober for 6 years, and I've only known him in recovery. But before I met my husband, I had very little exposure to the recovery community, and I was actually really ignorant about addiction, about the 12 steps, and everything that Alcoholics Anonymous stands for. So as I began learning about it, I actually discovered a really deep spirituality of grace within the program and within the culture of 12 steps. So I want to share 3 major principles and insights that I've taken away from watching my husband's journey and learning from a class I took on spirituality in the 12 steps, and share with you what I've taken away from it. But first, to give a little background, AA was founded by 2 alcoholics in 1935 who tried everything they could to stop drinking, but they failed miserably the harder they tried. Eventually, they realized that the only thing that worked was talking to another alcoholic. As they talked with one another, they were able to manage to stay sober one more day. And in that process and in that journey was developed the 12 steps and the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which was published in 1939. In the book, it tells the story of the founders and tells other people's stories and gives a perspective of other people, like the wives of men who've suffered from alcohol and the co-workers, and just different experiences of what it's like to live with an alcoholic. And it shares the 12 steps that it recommends for alcoholics to experience, to walk through. And the 12 steps isn't necessarily something that you check off a list and accomplish and then you're done. It's more of a spiritual journey, a spiritual process that one walks through and requires humility, discipline, and courage. Now, the 3 things that I have taken away from the 12 steps and from Alcoholics Anonymous, coming from the outside, not from a place of addiction, is first of all that admitting my powerlessness, whether it's over alcohol or whether it's over anything that I don't want to do, is really just identifying with my humanity. It's really acknowledging that I'm weak, that I can't save myself, that I need a higher power to restore me. I need a higher power to rescue me, and I can't do it on my own, no matter how hard I try. I may not be struggling with alcohol and with drinking, but with other sins in my life, I'm not able to save myself. Secondly, the importance of being present. Alcoholics say, take it one day at a time, and the importance of that is realizing that I'm not in control of the future. I have to entrust the future to God. I can't promise where I'll be in a year. I can't promise where I'll be next week. I can't even promise where I'll be tomorrow. And I found that from my husband's perspective, he's so aware of his lack of control of the future, and it brings about a sense of presence and a sense of peace because he can let go of that control of the future because of the process of the 12 steps. The third thing that I've learned from this journey is the importance of humility. There's a saying that is, careful when you stand lest you fall, because if you think that you have gotten to where you're at on your own abilities, you are closer to falling from your own pride than ever before, because anyone at any point is capable of sin, of failure, of relapse, and no matter where we are, whether we are succeeding in sobriety or whether we're succeeding in life or wherever we're at any point, failure is possible, and humility helps us not depend on ourselves, but recognize that in the moment we can trust God, and we can admit that we're weak and we need the higher power to restore us. And so if you are involved in a recovery community, if you've walked the 12 steps, then this is all really familiar to you. But if not, I would really encourage you to talk to somebody who has. Talk to somebody who's battled addiction or has been in in AA and ask them their story. Ask them to share with you what it's been like for them, and I believe that you'll discover a rich spirituality of grace like you may not have experienced before.